What is happening there? J Gamer Dude here, and Nintendo is at it again. So, let me know what you guys think about sort of like Nintendo and their relationship against emulators and modders and stuff like that, because Nintendo has a very interesting history, whether it be from like the Smash community using like the Slippy mod to be able to play against each other online and things like that. But in this situation specifically, we're going to be talking about emulators, because Nintendo is suing the makers of open source Switch emulator Yuzu. And the reasoning that was brought forward by Nintendo was that 1 million copies of Tears of the Kingdom were being played early because people were downloading illegal ROMs. Now, Yuzu is just the emulator, and so their argument against it was kind of like what they did when they tried to fight Dolphin in court, where the Dolphin emulator is another one, which is kind of like a Wii and GameCube emulator. And so what Dolphin tried to do was they used the OS to some extent, but also some codes that allow games to be booted on a Wii effectively to be able to play games on the emulator, which is some source code key that circumvents security that should not have been circumvented at all. And so that was kind of the argument that was used by Nintendo against Dolphin. And so now they're kind of doing a similar thing with Yuzu, being like, the Switch is kind of like a far more recent device, and that the creators of the emulator are trying to circumvent the security of the Switch, but also trying to explain and spread news about like how you can dump your games and be able to play it on devices that aren't the original device for which the game was intended for. And I mean, Nintendo hasn't been particularly good at creating like specifically strong hardware that allows games to run better and do things like that. The games are made incredibly well, it's just that the hardware has never truly been able to kind of keep up with the games that are being made for it. So that's kind of where people come from when they try to play Nintendo games on non-Nintendo pieces of hardware, whether it be the Steam Deck or something else like that. Well, Steam Deck or PC pretty much is kind of really what it comes down to, unless I'm playing GBA games on my PSP, but I digress. So that's kind of what's been put forward, and the million number that they kind of suggested about how many sales that they lost of Tears of the Kingdom is because of pirates or piracy. But more often than not, and especially being played early, but more often than not, when games are given out before street date by by like game stores and things like that still sell physical copies, normally when they break street date, usually people dump their own copies that they buy onto the internet for other people to download, I suppose. But and I'm sure there are forums for that sort of thing as well, because I haven't actually really delved into like Switch emulation all that much, but it's kind of interesting to see just how much it is flourishing. And I suppose it kind of also just shows that there is a market for Nintendo making stronger hardware, but I digress. Also, the Switch is an incredibly popular console, so like they are selling so much, like so many units, and honestly, like I'm pretty sure it's sold more than the PS4. Will definitely sell more than the PS5, so Xbox kind of has no chance in even competing against the Switch at all. Yeah, this is kind of like a pretty sucky situation all in all, that like emulation is kind of like one of the only real ways to be able to like to be able to back up your game so that you don't lose them forever, especially with digital distribution that hasn't really helped matters, especially now. Oh, I totally forgot about this as well. So Valve actually showed it in a Steam Deck video clip, which I thought was actually kind of funny, and then they removed it. While emulators aren't necessarily illegal, yeah, Nintendo says in its lawsuit there's no legal way to use them. Yeah, and so this was kind of like the whole so trying to bypass security measures, using decrypting keys and things like that. So I didn't say decryption keys, but yeah, that's pretty much the argument that's being brought forward, and is being brought against Tropic Haze, who are the guys who actually made the Yuzu emulator. So it'll be interesting to see, just how things go. The fact that they're earning money from it through the Patreon, though, that's kind of just a really bad look overall. So again, it'll just be interesting to see how things go moving forward. Kind of hope that nothing would, but what can you do? What can you say that would really make things that much better? Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comments below. I'd be interested to see the whole sort of emulation crowd kind of come out and really sort of dunk on Nintendo for this. But then again, this isn't the first time that this has happened, especially with a company like Nintendo. But yeah, with all of that said and done, I do upload every day. Please like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 200 subs by the end of the year. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.